I will not.
I will not.
I will not take my own life by my own hand.
Until I talk to my battle buddy first.
My mission.
My mission.
My mission.
My mission is to find a mission.
To help my warfighter family.
I'm Boone Cutler, and I'm the author of the Spartan Pledge. So the Spartan Pledge is a battle drill. It's a plan. It's what to do when you don't know what to do. And it's a promise to say, no matter how bad things get, I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach out, I'm gonna contact you. It's also a promise to do something on behalf of the warfighter community and maintain a mission. Because a warfighter without a mission is a dead warfighter, but a warfighter with a mission is a deadly warfighter. When I told Carl Monger, he's a good friend of mine, he runs an organization called Gallant Few, he's a mentor to me, he's an advisor to me. When I told him what me and my buddies were doing, he was like, Boone, I think you got something. I think you really got something here. This is something we should promote. From his networks, guys started taking it one-on-one, guys in groups, and then from there, now Soldier Heart picked it up, he's doing it at concerts.
Once Boone told me about the Spartan Pledge, I wanted to promote it in the best way that I know how. You know, what I do. How can I incorporate the Spartan Pledge into music? How can I do that? Every warfighter knows about taking the oath. We take oaths very seriously. Well, why not invite warfighters in the audience to come up on stage and take the Spartan Pledge? So every show that I did, no matter where I went, it's always been part of my show.
So far, since this entire journey has started, the most humbling thing I've seen is for someone to say, I want to contribute to this. People ask me, Boone, what are you going to do with the Spartan Pledge next? I'm just the author. I'm not doing anything with the Spartan Pledge next because it belongs to the community. So the question is, what are you going to do with the Spartan Pledge next?
I will not take my own life by my own hand.
I will not take my own life by my own hand.
Until I talk to my battle buddy first.
Until I talk to my battle buddy first.
My mission.
My mission
is to find a mission.
To find a mission.
To help my warfighter family.
To help my warfighter family.
Thank you very much. Give yourself a round of applause.
You see me walking, move over, walking for a purpose. Emotion surface. So why you nervous? So why you nervous? We on a mission to refocus, bringing awareness to all the non-soldiers. Pay close attention to our voices. Pay close attention to our voices. As I walk through the shadows of death, all I can think about is all those who left. Celebrating their life and not the death. For those who took that initial step and knowing it could lead to their last breath. Putting everything above their means, above their needs. It shows selfless service. It shows how a man can make a difference. A man of conquest, 15,000 miles marching for a purpose. Trying to bring changes, metamorphosis, defying obstacles within his courses. Even within himself, meaning no pain, here's a double dosage. A man who prefers his actions, speaking for his words, and knowing his words carry weight. At any given time, he can ignite or disinflate any situation on a mission to walk. You see me walking, move over.
I will not take my own life by my own hand. Until I talk to my battle buddy first. My mission is to find a mission. To help my warfighter family. Give yourself a round of applause. Outstanding. Now my challenge to everybody here is, don't let this die. Carl, thank you so much. Carl Monger, I want to thank everybody here for joining us. This is Vet Expo, and look at it. It's just about everywhere. It's worldwide right now across the internet, on social media. Look at all the things we can do because we're not going to be stopped. We're not going to be stopped by COVID. We're not going to be stopped by crimes. We're not going to be stopped by wars because this is the warfighter community. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Now that we talk about not being stopped, I was listening to Carl talking about that azimuth. And what happens over a 30-year period if you just get off 1 or 2 degrees, how far you could be off on your azimuth. I find that interesting because myself, I've been back from the war since 2006. I've been off azimuth. Everybody here in this audience has been off azimuth for a little bit. But now we get back on azimuth. And how do we do that? We do that through things like the Spartan Pledge. Because the Spartan Pledge requiring us to have that battle buddy who's always checking us, who's always going, hey, you, I don't think you're doing the right thing. Hey, you, what's your mission? Hey, you, have you built that squad leader in your brain yet? Because all that stuff matters. It matters here today. It mattered 30 years ago. It'll matter 30 years from now because we're evolving. And if we get off azimuth, it's because we haven't properly evolved into where we're going to be next. We've talked about our actual self. We've talked about our traumatic self. We've learned what our traumatic self was because we built it. We've learned what our actual self is because we've arrived at that destination with the proper azimuth. That's what we do. We are the warfighter community. That's what matters. And the beautiful thing about this evolving, this evolution that's happened, that since I got back, since a lot of us got back from the war, we've seen the VA maybe wasn't so on board with how we were thinking. Maybe we had to get our thinking together so we could train the VA. Maybe they had to get their thinking together on what we are and what we are not. And within that little vessel, we have come to this point. Why are we here today? Carl Monger, Gallant Few, myself, Soldier Hard, Director Howard, the Reno VA. We're here today because emergent leadership from that street level, from the warfighter community has now merged and is merging with the VA leadership. How does that happen? It happens because good people like Lisa Howard, Director Lisa Howard at the VA said, you know what? Why wouldn't I use what works? Why wouldn't I do everything under the sun that works? These are our patients. These are our warfighters. These are our veterans. They've already given. How do we make sure they get back what they need? And the answer is, we get back what we need from each other. It doesn't have to come from a hospital. It doesn't have to come from an agency. It doesn't have to come from an org. It's just as simple as giving to each other and maintaining that mission. So we're seeing that melding of organizations and street leadership. And I want to thank everybody out there in the VA system that is not risk averse, because we've seen that. We talk about the Spartan Pledge, and there's a little tinge in the Spartan Pledge that people at the VA don't really like, because it says, I will not take my life until. But now they're starting to learn that until thing is the most important thing. Because when you reach out to that battle buddy, all that histrionic behavior just kind of dissipates away. So until is actually very, very important. Because when you're in that state of mind, we've all been there. When the funky funk happens, you can't think about forever. You can't think about anything other than this moment right now. And when you're a warfighter, you know you got to have a mission. And you also know, the first thing you always got to have next to you is a battle buddy. Always. And once you get to that battle buddy, you seem to sort yourself out pretty easily. This is what's happened. We've taken that warrior ethos, slammed it together into the Spartan Pledge so we can use it on this side of the wire, and now the VA is starting to adopt that. We've done 2 Spartan Pledge ceremonies, Spartan Pledge days at the Reno VA, and that's going to start spreading to other VA hospitals. It's a very, very exciting day. It's a very, very monumentous day. I could tell you when all this stuff started, when we were down in the trenches, when we were slugging it out, there is nothing in my mind that ever thought we would actually be partnering with the people we thought were hurting us. Well, now they're not hurting us. Now we're working as a team. Now we can get some things done. Now I want to introduce somebody very, very special. Someone who has kind of had the guts to not be risk averse. Someone that has the vision of healing. Someone that knows what leaders do, and what leaders do, leaders lead. Ladies and gentlemen, Director Lisa Howard.
Good morning, good afternoon to everyone out in the audience today. Hi, Carl. It's great to be with you and all of the members of the Gallant Few, our veterans, our family members, and certainly all of our loved veterans here in the audience that we work with year in and year out. I first learned about the pledge through the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and you're going to meet Dave Sousa here in a little bit. He was part of a group that put together a VFW Midwinter Conference here in Nevada. And I went for a dinner that was honoring a Vietnam veteran, Medal of Honor recipient, Doc Ballard. And as a part of that dinner, they showed the video that Boone and Soldier Hard had done many years ago, and they all stood up and took the pledge. We all stood up and took the pledge. And I was positioned in the back of the room, and I had a couple of congressional representatives sitting at my table and a couple of Vietnam vets. And I remember the lights go down. I think it was before dinner. We watched the video, and then Doc Ballard led us through the pledge. And I remembered looking out at the audience, had a bird's eye view, and I had chills watching all eras. We had everything from OEF, OIF veterans to World War II veterans in that audience. And I could see very clearly everyone resonated with the pledge. And so I thought, you know, I need to learn a little bit more about this. So the next week I called Boone, lucky to have him right here in Reno, and asked him to come to lunch with me and talk to me about what is the pledge, how did it originate, and what does it mean? And we had a great conversation, and I could see very clearly that our values and our mission was totally aligned. Our method and how we reach veterans and maybe who we reach was a little different, but our hearts were right in line. So I asked him right at that table, would you be willing to co-sponsor a pledge event with me? And that was our first event in 2018, excuse me. We had a big event here in our historic circle. Our VA opened in 1939. And there's been many different kinds of initiatives through the years. I was really impressed with the Gallant Few's sessions the last couple of days, a lot of whole health kinds of offerings, and that really speaks to me, mind, body, spirit. Those are all the important components that we are as people. And we held our first event. We had the Vet Center here. We had the VA Regional Office here with benefits. We have a partnership with the District Attorney here, and they bring in pro bono attorneys. You know, what are the stressors for all of us? Legal affairs, whether we have a job, what's happening with our marriages, what's happening with our kids, what's happening with our friendships, all of that's important. So we invited our community to come in, and we hosted that first event. We had Sabo here, and our first rap artist here on VA grounds in Reno, which was really something. We had great food. Who doesn't like barbecue? Boone led us through the pledge. We had the sword here, the Spartan sword. It was wonderful to have that on property and have people actually lay their hands on that sword. And maybe Boone, you could talk a little bit about that sword and the really true meaning of what that represents. So we took the pledge. We had a great day. I heard from not only my staff, but veterans who had never stepped foot on my campus. And they came up to me after the ceremony and hugged me and shared private, personal thoughts about their journey and how meaningful that event was. And so right then and there we committed, we're going to do it again next year. And we did. And we had 3 beards. Hank Barbie came out and joined us. We had the same old barbecue that we love, and a lot of the community participants. We took the pledge again, and we had even more people. We literally filled the outdoor property back there. We were getting ready to host an event this year, and of course, you know, we had to deal with the pandemic, so we're really grateful to be able to have this discussion today. And I want to give a special welcome to some of my VA directors that I know are watching today. The Fresno VA, Chillicothe VA, and Biloxi VA. They are part of what's called an Innovators Network. And VA has a wonderful program where we identify best practices like the Spartan Pledge, and we tee that up to the Innovators Network, and other directors see that and they pick up these best practices. So that's how we were introduced to those 3 sites. We're very much looking forward to seeing what they do this next year with Spartan Pledge. I'd also like to give a welcome to my Network 21 leadership staff that are on the call today. I appreciate that support very much. At this point, I'd like to invite Boone and Soldier Hard up for a quick signing here. So as part of our 3rd year of hosting the Spartan Pledge, we have had a committed partnership all along, but it's important that we codify this in writing. So we have a memorandum of understanding that my boss, John Brandecker, the Network 21 director, signed, and Carl Monger, Gallant Few founder, also signed. So I'm going to ask Boone to do the honors here. Do you feel very presidential?
I feel very presidential. I need like 10 pens, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. And Soldier Hard, my apologies that you have to use the same pen, but I'm honored that you're here today.
I feel important.
You are.
24,
And it's my honor to sign as well. You know this commits you to many years. Your sentence is many years.
It's been many years. It'll be more.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Director Howard, thank you.
Thank you. So this is an important part of the Innovators Network. It really codifies our intent and formalizes our partnership and really sets the stage for other VA medical centers that want to replicate. And they obviously make Spartan Pledge their own. There's lots of different ways to approach this, but really cementing that intent to do everything we can to prevent veteran suicide. I'll turn it to you.
Thank you, Director Howard. I think it's very important, as Director Howard says, to make it your own. And that's the point of the Spartan Pledge. I may have written it, but it belongs to all of us. And all of us have an opportunity and a responsibility to do something with it that is impactful in your life to help other warfighters. We have other warfighters here today. I just want to get a little bit of a round robin, have a little bit of conversation. Let's go over here.
My name's Andy LaPelbit. I'm a Vietnam infantry officer, and I think the Spartan Pledge is a great reach out to our buddies. We need to talk to them, call them, see them, and help our friends find a solution in their lives.
Well, thank you for that, sir. My pleasure. What's your name, ma'am?
Susan Kennedy. I served 66 to 69 in the Women's Army Corps. And I was a medic and had the honor and privilege of becoming a nurse. And the last 50 years have been able to help my veteran comrades. And my local DAV, which I am a part of, I can always count on them totally to be my brother and my sisters. And they're there all the time. And it's kind of like the serenity prayer to me. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And they give that to me.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your service, ma'am. Thank you. All right, big dog. Get on up here, stand up. He's got a man with a big voice and a big, big, big heart. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and the impact of the Spartan Pledge that you see in the community.
My name is Frank Greenwood. I'm a Vietnam vet, 6970. I've heard a lot about the Spartan Pledge. I'm here to learn as much as I can. Maybe in the future we can start supporting more than we have in the past. That's what you want to hear.
Yes, sir.
I had an experience last year right after the last Spartan Pledge. One of our volunteers, her son left here and went home and took his own life. So I'm here to see what I can do to prevent that in the future.
Outstanding. Let's make it happen, brother.
Thank you.
All the way, Semper Fi. Sir, please stand up. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, and you've had a lot of experience with the Spartan Pledge. I see you around all the time, and anytime I've given it, you're right there. You're telling people what it's all about. You're supporting it. So tell us about your fascination with it.
Yeah, my name's Bill Burks. I'm the former Adjutant General for the state of Nevada's Department of Military, which is in charge of the Army and Air National Guards in Nevada. And I don't know if you remember this, but we first met back in 2009 in Washington, D.C. at the Freedom Awards, and we sat next to each other. And you were extremely passionate about the suicide epidemic that was going on with the members of the military at that time, and that never left me. Whether you realize it or not, it had a vast impact on me. And the importance of it is that as I've gone through the 10 years that I was the Adjutant General, we suffered our fair share of suicides, both on the Army and the air side. And we kept looking for new and better tools, different venues to try to help the people cope with the mechanisms that lead somebody to take that step. We worked with the state of Nevada on the applied skills or suicide intervention skills training. We had a whole bunch of Nevada Guardsmen take that training. We actually even opened it up to the families. Then came along the Spartan Pledge. And when you really think about it, and it kind of takes me back to what I did in the military. I was a weapons systems officer in the reconnaissance version of the F-4, so I was crewed with somebody. And, we're exceptionally close. And in fact, his wife used to say that I was probably his second wife, and I probably spent more time with him. But we knew each other in a different way. As he used to like to say, we went to war together, we flew together, we ejected together here in Reno. We rode bicycles all over Europe and the United States together. And so, to say we're close, yeah, we're close. And that's what the Spartan Pledge is. It brings people, whether you want to call them a battle buddy, a wingman, I don't know what the Marines or the Navy uses, but the Army uses battle buddy, the Air Force uses wingman. It's about having that person that you can reach out to, that you're more liable to reach out to them than you are a spouse. Because a lot of times you think you're helping your spouse and family out by taking that final step. And it is a final step. And so the Spartan Pledge gives that one more quiver, an arrow in that quiver. And it's probably the most important arrow in the quiver, because that's the one person you're going to reach out to, is that battle buddy that you trust.
Yes, sir.
So I thank you. I thank Lisa Howard and the VA. My history with this VA goes back to when I was a little kid. My dad used to work here, ate hamburgers down in the canteen, got my hair cut here, so I love this place.
Outstanding. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you so much. All right, brother. You're the newest of the new.
Yes.
You are the newest of the new here. Tell us your name and tell us a little bit about your military service, and tell us what the Spartan Pledge, what brought you out here today, because you have a fantastic story, and that camera over there is going to record it. There's a lot of people watching it that can relate to you more than the rest of us today. So tell us about yourself and this pledge.
Well, my name's Joe Mortal. I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom with the Army. The Spartan Pledge, it saved my life, and I want to learn as much as I can about it so that I can prevent losing any more of my battle buddies. I lost 2 of them when I came home, and I wasn't there for them like I should have been. And this kind of will bring me closer to my battle buddies to help them.
We love you, bro. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Leadership. That's you, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and about leadership in the Spartan Pledge.
So my name is Felipe Gutierrez. I'm the TMCC, Truckee Meadows Community College Veterans Program Coordinator. So when I saw the Spartan Pledge, I wanted to bring it onto our campus, not only for our student veterans, but for our staff who may be veterans themselves, and just everyone on our campus community, so they can learn and have the tools for our student vets and for their personal lives themselves. We actually had an interesting story last time that you came out. The staff and the English professors actually took the Spartan Pledge and kind of tooled it for themselves. I thought that was super interesting to see that they're taking our tools and kind of applying them to their lives.
Absolutely.
So it's great. It's a very important thing that we have, a tool. So I want to see it everywhere. I love that it's in our community out here, and I want to see it on all college campuses across the country and all the veteran centers that we have on college campuses taking the Spartan Pledge.
Outstanding. So more adoption in different places is really an impact indicator of the effectiveness of the pledge.
Absolutely. You know, that's what the goal is to get it out there so everybody knows, like, they have the tools. If they needed someone to talk to, there's somebody on campus that they can come and talk to.
Outstanding. Thank you for that, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for stepping up. Over here, one of my favorite people. Brother, you've seen this from a couple different sides. And why don't we just tell the camera a little bit about yourself and what sides have you seen this whole Spartan Pledge thing play out on?
My name is Jerome Washington, and I'm an Army Iraq veteran. Served in 2003 over to Iraq. Different perspectives. I work for the VA. I'm the congressional analyst, but also the outreach coordinator for the VA here locally. And I've had the privilege of partnering with the hospital, Director Howard, and you since the beginning of the Spartan Pledge here at the hospital, and we've come out and help veterans with benefits and their spouses with benefits. But also, I'm a veteran. I'm a combat veteran, and the Spartan Pledge has been dear to me since I learned about it at the same time that Director Howard mentioned with the VFW. How did it affect me? The Spartan Pledge, I've gone through what you call the funky funk so much in my life, and sometimes there's no ways to explain it or to have the words to properly say how you feel. And so just saying that, you know, I've gone through the funky funk. I'm going through the funky funk, and you know, I've been on that verge. But I've also had some friends who have crossed that path. And so the Spartan Pledge has helped me because it's helped me be accountable to my brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
But also for them to be accountable to me. And so the Spartan Pledge has really pushed me and urged me to help myself find a mission, which is with community involvement, helping take care of veterans and family members, but also for my comrades and brothers and sisters to be accountable to me. So find a mission for myself and for them.
The accountability really does go both ways. It's for the person who is out there suffering and the person just waiting to catch them when that time comes.
Absolutely, and I don't want to sound selfish, but when I first heard the Spartan Pledge, it was really for me.
Yeah.
It was for me because I needed it. You know, I needed to know what it was about. And so then just knowing of it, learning of the Spartan Pledge, and then just pushing it off to my friends, my battle buddies and sisters, you know, that was really what helped me to know that, hey, not only just for me, but it's for you too. So
Outstanding.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for all of that. And let's scoot over here real quick. Ma'am, please, how are you doing today?
I'm well. How about you?
Well, tell us about yourself and tell us about the Spartan Pledge and tell us where you come from, what you do.
I am Ann Davis, and I'm a 29-year Army veteran. And what really struck me about the Spartan Pledge initially was the importance of that personal connection that you make with your battle buddy. And so I thought about how does that apply to me in my current position. I'm the chair of the Governor's Women's Veterans Advisory Committee.
Outstanding.
And one of our missions is to assist in identifying our women veterans throughout the state of Nevada and to connect them to the benefits that they've earned for their service. But we really take that a little bit beyond just identifying those women veterans, and rather we want to establish that sense of community across all of our women veterans throughout the state. And by having a sense of community, it means that we're looking out for one another and helping each other out, so that when we see somebody's in trouble, we reach out to them or lend a listening ear or just sit down and be with them, whether they want to talk or not. And so I think continuing to make those personal connections throughout our veteran community is extremely important.
Now, you being a leader inside the military, 29 years you said, right?
29 years.
29 years. I think you could probably explain and epitomize how important it is to find those emergent leaders, emergent leadership, the emergent things that are working, and incorporate them into an established system as we're starting to do now.
Yeah, and you have to find those people who are key to making those connections. And really, for me, the Army is always about the people and making the connections between the people. You know, no matter what your mission is, it really always comes down to the people, and being able to help your fellow soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, or veteran, as we're now looking at it, is extremely important.
Thanks. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a seat. Sir, come on up here.
How you doing?
I guess you were in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your service, and what your thoughts are on the Spartan Pledge.
Okay. Well, I'm Greg Aragon. I had the honor of serving this nation in the Army for 30 years. Over those 30 years...
Did you think you weren't allowed to leave 30 years?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I got a funny story I can tell you later about that.
Go ahead.
But over my 30 years, I came in 1981 and retired in 2012. I served a lot of joint missions. I served in from the operator to the leadership. And with everybody that I ever met that has, going back to jumping into Grenada to where we're at now, I still know more people that have died of suicide than have died in action. And that's what sticks with me. The Spartan Pledge sticks with me as a young soldier. When I didn't have a mission, I got in trouble.
So did I.
As a leader, I always wanted to make sure my soldiers had missions or a purpose, because if they didn't, they got in trouble.
Purpose, direction, and motivation, right?
And and it's nice hearing all the different other things. When you put out until and the different things that resonate with different people, because I like expressing it in different ways. But for me, having that mission is what is important from that, because if you have a mission, you have a purpose, you have something to do, and you get out of your head.
Amen, brother.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Now, this guy over here seems to have started a lot of trouble. Mr. Souza. All this here is because you wanted to do a little thing at an event. Tell us about the event, and tell us about your relationship with your name. Tell us about that event, and tell us about Spartan Pledge and you.
Well, my name is David Souza. I served 25 years in the Army. What resonated when I met you, I didn't know it was 2009. That's a long time ago. And listened to your story and how it was impactful. At that time, I was going through my funk. My buddy committed suicide in March of 2013. From then on, I realized that I was not doing what I needed to do for myself. I tried to commit suicide a couple times without friends and family even realizing what I did. When I saw Soldier Hard's video with you, and I said, you know what, this is something that I need to promote. This is something that we need to get the community more involved. We did a event working with the Veterans of Foreign Wars at the national level, working with several other groups. I said, you know, we're going to bring our midwinter for the state of Nevada here to Sparks, Nevada. And I said, we got to do something to make this more powerful. I talked to Medal of Honor recipient Donald Doc Ballard. He's in our prayers. He had an accident. He's doing okay, but he still needs our prayers. But he came in, was very passionate about what we did. I showed him the Spartan Pledge. The Spartan Pledge is on my business cards. It's on our VFW trailer. It's everything we do. And I said, look, Soldier Hard did this at one of his events. I said, we got to do something similar. I showed the video, and he did not even bat an eye. I was on the other side, behind the scenes. He stood up, and he jumped on stage and said, we are going to do the Spartan Pledge. So I made it my life goal to live by your standards, to let people understand what the Spartan Pledge is and keep it going. The VFW here in Sparks, there's 2 videos we did this Suicide Prevention Month. Both of them have been tremendously spread throughout the world. We do our events to bring veterans together, camaraderie, bring them together to show, hey, look, you're not alone. This is a tool for you, one for your, hey, I'm going to go seek out help when I feel down and depressed, and I'm going to get somebody else. But you got to have that mission, because if you don't have a mission, you're just floating around the world with nowhere to go. This gives you a purpose, this gives you life, and it's all because of you and Soldier Hard for what you've done. Because if it wasn't for you guys, half these guys in this that I know would be dead, because your passion for this little phrase went a long ways. And I thank you for everything.
Come here, brother.
Thanks, man.
Glad you're here.
Yep.
You know, it's a little bit different when you're working in front of the cameras, because you can't feel the crowd out there. I hope you're out there. I hope you're listening to the words. I hope you're paying attention, because it's the little things that really mean a whole lot. When David says Doc Ballard didn't bat an eye, just jumped up and did it, took that leadership role. I've seen that over and over again. David taking the leadership role, Jerome, okay, everywhere. Doesn't matter if it's in school, doesn't matter if it's our Vietnam veterans, a general. We're all in the same boat. Why are we in the same boat? Because when we come home and we take off that uniform, we're not just taking off of a uniform, we're taking off our identity. And then that's broken. Then what do? We need to find a new one. How do you find the new one? 2 sentences from the Spartan Pledge. I want to bring Soldier Heart up here. Come on up here, brother. Okay, brother, listen. What year was it? You and I met, people don't know this. I'll let you tell the story. Tell us about the cornfield.
We met you talking about in
Yeah.
In Ohio?
In Ohio, yeah.
Cornfield in Ohio in 2010. Me and this guy had an event. First time I never even met him, but we shared a table next to each other. I perform, I do my set. He grabs the mic. I'm like, okay. He said, I will not do another event without this guy. All right? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember. And
then after the event, we stood at the cornfield and we talked about the warfighter community, where it's at right now, and how it was looking like. And we pretty much predicted like how it would be, how it is right now. Because back then there was really
no community. It was just, people were just veterans. There wasn't really a warfighter community. And we talked about the, what's it going to take veterans and put them into a warfighter community. I mean, all the way down to the language. You had a song called I'm a Warrior. Mm-hmm. You went home, changed it, I'm a Warfighter, mm-hmm. because, the language matters. And that's where we started working. And since then, we've been working together in various shows, various places around the country. And you've taken the Spartan Pledge and said, hey, listen, I'm going to put this into my concerts.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It didn't matter where I went. All across the United States, I made it part of my show, and I would have veterans come out and take the Spartan Pledge with me, and they did. But yours was the biggest one. I had my 5th year anniversary of Raycon One Music Group, and you had 47 veterans. I think that was the biggest, right?
On stage, it was the biggest at the time.
So there's more.
We've done probably close to 600 or 700, maybe 1,000 veterans at once. No.
Okay. Wow.
But that was the biggest at the time. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Oh, mine.
No. But you wrote a song at that time, and you and I were talking last night about how we've kind of evolved out of the situation where it was just pain and angst and anxiety. We didn't even know we were in pain. We just knew there was just the funky funk. It was just all the time. And you were telling me, you know what? We were listening to Triggers last night, one of your songs, and you said you couldn't write that song today. Tell me about evolving and what that means.
Because when I wrote that song, it was if you hear it, you can hear the pain, the passion. But now if I try to do it again, I can't write a song like that no more because it'll be missing the pain and it wouldn't be real.
Would you say that the Spartan Pledge is one of the things that's helped relieve some of that pain?
Yeah, definitely, because without a mission, we're dead. Yeah, so my mission was traveling the whole United States and performing for vets, helping them, talk to them, suicide prevention. A lot of my songs is about that.
Yep.
So that was my mission. So it made me forget what the heck I was going through. You know what I mean? My focus was helping veterans, and then, So when I heard that you were doing the Spartan Pledge, I was like, okay, I'm going to make it my own.
My triggers, it's unexpected, like a loud noise or somebody walks up on me or somebody startles me. Certainly I'm sent right back to the times when I was in country and I was in a firefight, and I go into that fight or flight mode.
Sometimes, I'm good, at times, I'm not. Anger take control like a hot boiling pot. Trying to block bad memories, cause I got a lot. I'm talking about triggers, I wish it would stop. The smell of burning smoke, I'm reminded by the flames. I hear a loud sound, it's an IED bang. Or is it gunfire that flies like a plane? Is the enemy shooting bullets, got no names? I guess I'm shell shocked, so please don't touch me. Let me be in my zone fighting the Haji. No, you can't stop it, that's just how I'm is. Tell people around me to mind their own biz. It is what it is, but this my new life. My fists always clenching, ready to fight. Some say it's wrong, to us it feels right. Others can't imagine, to us it's life. Say I'm only trying to live, but these triggers get the best of me. Every day, the past keeps on me. It's all reality, some say it ain't right. My mind's still at war, always ready to fight. See, I'm only trying to live, but these triggers get the best of me. Every day, the past keeps on me. It's all reality, some say it ain't right. My mind's still at war, always ready to fight. My mind's still at war, ready to to fight. Triggers can happen morning, day, noon, and night. Triggers are memories coming back here to haunt you. Your only option is fight, just like you're taught to. Triggers are anniversary dates when your friends died. Triggers can kill, they can make you take your own life. Even just a smell or a touch, I ain't lying. I'm spitting truth, yeah, y'all, this ain't only rhyming. Even seeing people at a funeral crying. It can happen anytime, seeing people dying. This day's lurking everywhere, always reminding. Y'all can run all y'all want, but it's still finding. This fight or flight, but never will I run. This a life of a war fighter who feels none. We don't feel a thing, guess we feel numb. Triggers stay with us till death comes. See, I'm only trying to live, but these triggers get the best of me. Every day, yeah, the past keeps on me. It's all reality, some say it ain't right. My mom's still at war, always ready to fight. See, I'm only trying to live, but these triggers get the best of me. Every day, yeah, the past keeps on me. It's all reality, some say it ain't right. My mom's still at war, always ready to fight.
Some other guys with PTSD, somebody startles them and it's like, hey, I'm in combat, I gotta go respond to this. It lasts longer than it should.
Imagine life on the ledge, not caring if you fall down, not living for tomorrow, we living for the right now. Jumping like a trampoline, living, but it's hard to smile, fighting just to live again, trying hard to hold it down. They train us for war, but not life after it. They train us to kill, not how to deal with it. So what we feel is normal, I guess it's supposed to be. So keep your pity to yourself and just let me be. We trying to live good, though our heart bleeds. We want peace, so we wear our hearts on the sleeve. Trying to live right, but triggers get the best of me, cause it's really hard to forget history. See, I'm only trying to live, but these triggers get the best of me. Every day, yeah, the past keeps on me. It's all reality, some say it ain't right. My mom's still at war, always ready to fight. See, I'm only trying to live, but these triggers get the best of me. Every day, yeah, the past keeps on me. It's all reality, some say it ain't right. My mom's still at war, always ready to fight.
I guess what I'm working on now through therapy is to try and get myself to snap out of that fight or flight response.
I want to thank everyone for coming today. The power of connection is how we're wired. We need connection. And I am particularly concerned during these last really 9 months about physical distancing and people not going to events and activities that are so charging for all of us and rejuvenating. And I would just ask everyone in this room and everyone in the audience, I know there's somebody on your mind, or maybe you need to reach out for yourself. I would just ask you to take a moment, even if it's a simple text message, just take 30 seconds and do it. That person that you think is strong maybe isn't right now, and maybe would be very grateful for that reach out. So just something to think about. I'm very proud of my VA family. Again, so proud to see the other VA medical centers that are dialed in today. And I know, excuse me, a year from now, there's going to be many other VAs on board, because this is an important outreach to veterans that maybe we don't speak to right now, but maybe they hear this message and they develop a relationship with VA, and that is really my goal. Save lives and get us delivering health care to veterans that have served. About a third of my staff are veterans. That's not atypical. You'll see that at every VA medical center across the country. And after our first event, actually right before our first event, when I had announced to all of my staff that Boone and I were going to be co-sponsoring the pledge, I got a message I want to read to you, and it was in 2018. I just want to say, when I was in my darkest hours and times last fall, Boone contacted me personally with multiple phone calls and text messages. He helped me keep my Spartan pledge, and he helped me get into a care facility and on the road to recovery. He cares as genuinely about the mission as any person I've ever met. Thank you for the time and dedication to us. And he closed by saying, safety first and people always. And after all, that's really the bottom line, people always, maintaining that connection and doing the right thing for our brothers and sisters. I want to give a special shout out for Joseph for coming here today. I know many of the folks in this audience for years. We have strong partnerships and collaborations, and I'm so happy to see you here today. Thank you. Yeah. All right, Boone, let's do the pledge.
I will not take my own life by my own hand.
I will not take my own life by my own hands.
Until I talk to my battle buddy first.
Until I talk to my battle buddy first.
My mission.
My mission
is to find a mission.
is to find a mission.
To help my warfighter family.
To help my warfighter family.
Do not let this die here today. Wherever you are, do not let this die here today. It will live as long as you live, and use your words and your voice to put out the information to tell your story and put it together with the Spartan Pledge. Give yourselves a round of applause. I want to thank the Reno VA, Director Howard, Shane back there working the board, going nuts because he's making this thing right. Everybody filming today, everybody in our audience, Carl Monger, Gallant Few, and I also want to send a shout out to Stephen Daniluk, and I want to send a shout out to Danny Prince. Great guys who are doing wonderful things with the Spartan Pledge. And let's finish out of here with Soldier Heart singing Road to Recovery.
Yeah, Soldier Heart, y'all. I'm on this long road to recovery. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to my world, y'all. Yeah, rock with me.
You see, I've been through it all, from fighting in wars, but I died for freedom, that's a real good cause. I said yes, cause the mother said no. There's a war going on, give me rifle, let's go. They trained me to kill, yeah, they called me the kill machine. Now I'm out, look what this war did to me. I keep fighting cause I need a change. I know deep down inside, yeah, ain't the same. I wanna be like I used to. I wanna smile, I wanna laugh, yeah, you're like I'm supposed to. But I'm someone can get close to. I walk alone by myself, don't speak, I don't know you. I just really wanna get away and keep popping Percocet pills just to take the pain away. Yeah, nobody understands me or even really care enough about me. Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery. I just wanna be all alone, don't bother me. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery. I just want the pain to go away, far away from me. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery. I just wanna be all alone, don't bother me. Your time is hella hard, it's slowing down my pace, and you can see all the pain written on my face. The nightmares, cold sweats, I don't wanna live. Shrink sessions, yeah, something's gotta give. I used to be emotional, now emotionless. I don't even care no more, I don't even give a shh. I don't like to be in crowds, I stay away from all. I'm safe by myself, I roll with one homie, my loaded gun on me. My mind keeps working and playing tricks on me. Every noise I hear, I'm ready, let's go. My body's here at home, my mind's still at war. Yeah, I stay alone, don't bother me. I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery. I just wanna be all alone, don't bother me. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery. I just want the pain to go away, far away from me. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery. It's a really long road, I'm talking hella far. I can't turn back now, keep going, go hard. I'm proud who I am, my country I serve. When I feel down and out, I just read Proverbs. I know what I've been through, I did what I had to. Can't forget about the past, though I tried to. I want this pain to get away from me. I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery. I'ma be okay, oh yeah, like it used to be. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery. I'ma be cool, now the pain went away from me. On the road to recovery. On this road to